A surprising but now kind of consistent opponent to Elon Musk and the DOGE organization is Steve Bannon, who has a couple of good points to make against what he's seeing in that whole endeavor to cut waste. That's really just a smokescreen for corruption. He's also going to undercut his points, which is fun. So we get both sides of this. So take a look at this.
Until we see the math, and I mean hundreds of billions of dollars of cuts, hundreds of billions of dollars of cuts. And stop whining about entitlements. Get into that discretionary spending. Get into the Pentagon. Get into Medicaid. Medicaid, you got to be careful because a lot of MAGAs on Medicaid. I'm telling you, if you don't think so, you are dead wrong. Medicaid is going to be a complicated one. Just can't take a Medex to it, although I would love to.
Oh my God, that's amazing in so many different ways. So we need to do hundreds of billions of dollars of cuts when that's not really what's happening here. Again, you could fire every federal employee and it wouldn't do a quarter of what they say they're going to do in terms of cutting waste or whatever. Instead, they're just throwing out like, hey, we're not going to spend $30,000 on a TransOpera or whatever. These are not things that add up to hundreds of billions of dollars. They're not, oh yeah, they're going to cut the military by half. That's definitely a thing that they're going to do. But anyway, he is right there that if you cut things like Medicaid, a lot of conservatives are on Medicaid. I know there's that weird cognitive dissonance among the Fox group or whatever, but these services are used by a lot of white conservative people. And so, yeah, that's gonna be really damaging. It's really gonna hurt people's view of the Republican Party and Donald Trump. So Steve Bannon is right there. He then goes on to say he really wishes he could cut all of that. I guess he wishes that he could cut it for the MAGA people, but there wouldn't be a political backlash. Or maybe he just means, I really wish we could take away the benefits of the bad people, the bad poors. But unfortunately, some of the poors we like are on this. And so whichever interpretation it is, deeply offensive for the people who have earned these benefits. But he is right that they're treading on some territory that's gonna be really dangerous politically. Cutting Medicaid is not gonna be popular. Cutting Social Security is not gonna be popular. Raising the retirement age is not gonna be popular. And they've basically not only do they need to do this to reach anything like the cuts they say they want, but they've also just promised to do those specific things. So this is, they're entering into, I think, a politically dicey period. Brett, what do you make of this?
I mean, I think Steve Bannon just in a vacuum wants to get rid of Medicaid because he doesn't like government programs. But even Steve Bannon, like the thing about Steve Bannon is he knows where the lines are. And he crosses a lot of them that he doesn't think are electrified rails, but this is one of them. That's why the Social Security is the third rail of American politics. Medicare, Medicaid, these are programs that make it so poor people don't absolutely lose every last dollar forever. He knows that it's gonna be wildly unpopular to get rid of popular programs. This is the like, if we can tell people like, we're gonna give you 1,000 pounds of candy, and you'll never have a stomach ache. Before you give them 1,000 pounds of candy or take their candy away, they're never gonna suffer those consequences. So you can just keep marketing it them and they give you votes. But here, like the consideration for Donald Trump right now is he's kind of been in the Bannon camp in his ability to smell where he can market and where the lines are and the BS that he can serve to people. But the Elons of the world are literally just after making more money. Like Donald Trump is mostly I want to be liked and I want to be powerful and I want to just like push people around and see what I can do and then get the best deal. I don't care. It's all about winning. But Elon Musk, it's like, oh, I have made my way into a position of power so that I can enrich myself specifically for this. And all of Trump's billionaire backers are that person who's sniffing around for parts of the government that they can privatize and make money off of, fictionally. Medicaid's one of them. They're gonna replace the cheap, keep you alive health system with the thing that has made the rest of the health system so wildly unfair and financially ruining to so many people. The reason we spend twice as much as other countries on healthcare and die sooner, they want to expand that dynamic to the rest of the economy, as opposed to the one that's like similar to how other countries keep people alive longer and spend less money on it.
Yeah, and so look, they're gonna do all this stuff, they're gonna do all these cuts or whatever. A lot of it's gonna be stuff that people really like, people really need and deserve. It literally keeps people alive, a lot of these programs. And some Republicans in advance are like, no, we need these cuts. And I think there's a couple of reasons they want the cuts. I mean, one, it's because they think, well, we cut government. I hate people who work for the government for some reason. They're bad. I was told that they were bad, so I guess they're bad. These lifetime civil servants or whatever. But a lot of them, whether they articulate it explicitly or not, think if the government's smaller, I won't have to pay as much, and I don't want to pay as much taxes. But that's not what's gonna happen. They're not gonna cut $2 trillion from the budget and then pass the savings on to some random dude who lives in the suburbs of Dallas. That's not what's gonna happen. They're gonna give it to the wealthiest people in the country. This is not speculation. The details of their tax plan are already out. You will be able to see what your tax cut's gonna be. In all likelihood, it's gonna be $117. That's what it's gonna be. And Elon Musk is gonna get tens of millions of dollars. Please understand that you are going to be hurting, you're gonna be out programs that you rely on, and you're not even gonna get a tiny check to compensate you for it. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.